Hello.
Hello. Network yala sumina lero hii. Hello. This network. Hello.
Mr. Amwami, are you there?
Yeah. Awe kuno kwa dilamba network.
Yeah. Oh man, the volume is. Let me see. Maybe it's me.
Yeah.
Can't seem to.
The network here
Yeah,
plays on me.
Let me check.
Network here is a challenge. Hello.
Hello, Mr. Amwami, can you hear me?
Network is a challenge. I can get you. Can you get me? Network. Hello. Hello. Issues of network. Hello. Network.
Just hold on. Let me fix the volume here. Hello, Bakazia, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello. Can you hear me?
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3.
You're the only one that I could hear. Everybody else, I couldn't hear them.
What happened? I just got here.
Yeah, I couldn't hear Bamacha. I couldn't hear Bakazia. But you, I can hear you.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's I need to either clear the cache cookies and then try again, or use a different browser.
Because I was thinking to myself, or maybe it's me. I'm trying to press different buttons here.
Yeah, I'm sorry I'm a little late. I had to, you know me. I do this while working. I do my 9 to 5. Yes. So I was trying to clear people off that way I can have time a little bit to come in and, share my opinion and everything. How have you been? Are you still on high from all the Arsenal gains this past season?
Of course. But it hasn't ended, I'm still celebrating even up to today.
The next 1 year. I mean, even my family members, they know. When they say hello, champ. Good evening, champ. Bye, champ.
That's what I tell my workmates. There's one guy. He's actually from Manchester. He's originally from there. So he's the only guy we talk about soccer. So when he sees me, we pass each other. I tell him, "Don't say hi, Chanda. Say hi, champion."
Yes, it's got a ring to it, and people you just gotta get used to it.
Yeah, get used to it. Yeah? Call me champion.
Yeah, give me my props. Oh my God. Who is this who joined us?
Bakazia London, this time around.
Good afternoon, champions.
Good afternoon, losers of Champions League.
Yeah, anyway, wrong forum.
Congratulations for winning the English Premier League.
Oh my goodness! It's a dream. It hasn't yet sunk in. We are still celebrating.
Let's congratulate every weekend.
Yeah, every weekend we're gonna say congratulations, champions. Please give us that. Africa had club can qualify for Premier. They're coming from Champions. I remember Coventry, who do you support? From Champions Leagues to join us next season. Who are they? Coventry?
No, my team is still there. My team is Blackburn Rovers.
Yeah, really get it, Divaria.
I think I think they qualify. They were promoted from League One. They are now into Champion. You know, there are 3 leagues there: Champion, League One, and League Two. So they start off League Two, I some League One, then Champions before you come to the Premier League. But Blackburn, there used to be a good club back in the day. I remember who was that?
We are still good.
Yeah. I remember that, yeah, there used to be a good club. I don't know what happened. And there was that who was that black player? John Burns. Oh my goodness, it was famous back in the day. Yeah, but never Blackburn Rovers. Who has some stuff anyway? Leicester, sure, demoted from Champions League to League Two, League One, next year, I'm comfort very cool League Two. No, but what happens to our superstar Paxton Duck? I like Tashan. I like Shekunani. I like Saudi Arabia. I mean, why would you go and play League Two?
Half the money. It's half the money.
Yeah, because there won't be. I don't think they will afford to pay him the wages that he's been on. I mean, they tried for the year. I mean, how much does he get? £50,000 a week, or how much?
Depending on the player, they range between 50, 75, whatever. So, but whatever it is, if you drop down like that, it's half the pay.
So from 50 to £125,000. But you know, if you go to Saudi Arabia, like we Fashion Sakala, I mean, he's probably getting like maybe $350,000 a week. Me, I would jump on that. I think that makes good financial decision. You know, whereas I'm getting £25,000. Go to Saudi Arabia and make the money. Retirement money. Why have to talk about retirement?
Okay. 10 to Tampa, Vane. Let's begin. I think we're already late. Let's begin the show. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us, the Redtagmedia Podcast. Of course, we're joined by our very own Vakalinda, our specialist, journalist, most intellectual and most well-informed individual on this podcast. And we're joined by our own residential PS, Bakazia, who's going to bring a divergent view. And we're not scared of anybody here. You can come with your divergent views, and we'll definitely handle those views.
You are scared of me.
Who's ever scared of you? That's a joke of the century. So, just to top it off, of course, we'll pass it on to Vakalinda to bring your introductory remarks, and then Vakazia. Then we, spark the light on this program. Let's go, guys. Vakalinda, Shan.
Oh, well, thank you for the privilege, but I would like to give my time out to Vakazia to speak his mind out, because he's just coming high from watching that whatever thing was going on in Kitwa today. So Vakazia, let me step aside, because I know you want to talk about that. So come on, it's your floor, Vakazia. I'm going to step aside.
No. Don't step aside. Go at it. I was actually coaching a game during that time. I think I didn't have a chance to sit down and watch. I'm an assistant coach of a local, under 17 team, and I was having a game. So I missed that out because of the timing. So I've been away until like 30 minutes ago. So of course, I'm aware about the happening and I'm quite excited. That is what the people were looking out for, was to have BM8 and MS8 to come together and put a team that should be able to challenge the UPND for 2026. And I think the challenge is formidable. UPND needs to really pull up his socks, otherwise the game is done. It might be game over. So it is something that I think personally, I'm happy to see the challenge. Let the democratic process happen, and there should be no intimidation. There should be no beating each other up and then later on be arrested after being beaten. I think it's important that the democratic space must be opened up and see. Right now, BM8 and MZ8 are really pulling the crowds, and I think there could be a very good alternative for the UPND government.
Okay, if you say so. I mean, everybody has a right to dream. It's allowed to dream. I think that's where he promised 3 million jobs. I think he promised 3 million jobs, which is very funny. So now, since we're talking about PF and its affiliates, I think why don't we talk about Mao Sampa? Let's start with that one first of all. Mao Sampa and his faction have suddenly, joined the UPND Alliance, and there are questions that are being raised as we speak. They're saying, "Oh, is it because he wants a job? Is he looking for an appointment? Or he's genuinely, interested in the UPND policies, or is it just a matter of survival?" What does that mean for the future of the Patriotic Front, which I don't know which one it is, because Bachavinga, the one with the Ugwalo, is also saying he's a PF president and is also aligned to the UPND. What's going on, Bakazia? I mean, what's your take on that one? What do you think of him?
My take is very simple. Right now, the PF of Chavinga and Mao Sampa, you are in alliance with them. They've been adopted right now within the UPND circles. So what we may need to know is, what is UPND? What value have they seen in them to come to the UPND and be adopted to represent the UPND government? Chavinga right now is going to contest on the UPND ticket. So he's part of you people. You guys should be able to be the ones to tell the Zambian people that, oh, now you are in alliance with PF. You are in alliance with PF as things stand, because both claimants of presidency, they are with you. So you should know better what value those two are going to add. I like it when you say, is it about the elections, or is it about their pockets or their own survival, and not really the people they are going to represent. So if they are going to add value to UPND, which I think you guys you are yet to explain to the people, and to the exclusion of the legitimate members, I call them legitimate foot soldiers of the UPND that have been with UPND for 20 some years, and they were not given chances. Now they wanted to take chances, and now you've given the new thieves that have been there. They've joined you now. All of a sudden, they have been cleansed. Now all of a sudden, they are very, very genuine. All of a sudden, they are rubbing shoulders with President HH on the same stage, And President has said that it's not about the members of parliament, it's about the president. All those others just support him. Me, I thought that it was about even the president learning to operate alone. People can function away from the president. Systems are there because the president is just one individual. But they are rubbing shoulders right now, Chavinga and Mao Sampa. And with that lady, I think Charity Banda, they are there. He was even drinking a bottle of whiskey.
Maybe Vakazia, let me rephrase it. Let me rephrase the question.
Okay. My last point before you rephrase the question is that they are part of you. You can rephrase the question if you want to.
Yeah. So maybe let me rephrase it this way.
Mm-hmm.
How are the PF supporters reacting to this alliance? So it's more like if we so Vami Butukamwevan. They don't want Sala. So like no, Chavashani number. So how are they reacting? How are the members?
But you see, abana tababa butwike ba PF gali abana muli nabo n'abasenda abana beshire n'abana kuli imwe abana baba PF n'abamwingira muli imwe so tabamutwike beshire joina imwe bali progressive tefe echo beshire kuli imwe ukuli hope n'abana babo n'ababasenda n'abesoka abana baba PF isn't it? That's what has happened right now.
I don't think I'm PF supporters to Bafaya. PF supporters you could join a UPND. I doubt that.
Chanda. Abena mau Sampa, barelanda ati. Anongani muambo kukana papa forum lero. Barelanda ati na resa na ba PF wisa mujoina. Na resa na babo baisa mujoina. So bali aba PF abena mau Sampa na banana. Boss poli na abo mu UPND. Those are the people that have joined you. That is what they are saying. That's what Chavinga has been saying. That's what Mau Sampa is saying. They are part of you. So ngamlefa uti musanga abana mambi wa PF. Mwana bamona kuisa. They are not there.
Anyway, Wakalinda.
I'm here. First off, what an amazing foray of opinions and statements and belief. It is just wonderful. It's music to my ears to hear finally our resident PS admitting to the fact that the PF is divided and is no more. 1 point. Now, let me address this Mau Sampa, Charity Chanda, or whatever. I mean, for me, really, I'm speaking as I'm UPND, I support everything. However, I'm also that lone thinker who, I'm looking at, Mau Sampa. Mau Sampa is the most unreliable, unpredictable politician. Let me repeat.
I didn't hear that again.
Mau Sampa is the most unpredictable, unreliable politician I've ever seen or imaged out of our Zambian political cycle. Him coming back to the UPND, it's nothing new. He did it in 2015. Remember when he had that fight with Valungu? Then he went to beg. Just by those actions, I really don't see any value he's bringing to the UPND, except if we allow, and this is a warning and caution to the powers that be, if we allow Mau Sampa to stick his sticky fingers in our political power structures in UPND, I can guarantee UPND will not be the same party that we have now. Because why? Mau Sampa is the most unreliable, unpredictable politician I've ever seen in Zambian politics.
Agreed.
That's 1 point. Second point. I know. I don't know. Why, Mau Sampa? Why? Well, the only thing I can say, the second point, is that Mao Sampa couldn't go to this BM8. I don't even know why they're killing BM8. State House. Anyway, that's the discussion for another day. I mean, he couldn't go and join that faction because why? Those people hate his guts because they know who he is. You know, without him holding that whatever convention he had, which he made as a factional PF president, probably the PF wouldn't be the way it is right now. So he couldn't go to them because you know that they had his guts and they were going to beat the hell out of him. You know? Yeah. I mean, so he had no option. Right now, Mao Sampa is fighting for, in my view, relevance in the political Zambian scenario. That's the way I see it. Nothing else. Otherwise, for me, really, I think we really shouldn't have laid the red carpet welcoming Mao Sampa back to the party because this is a man, when it gets tough, this is a man who will address in public and leave you dry. That's my point. That's my opinion. And I will stick to that. And that's all I'm going to say on this Mao Sampa rejoining UPND. I mean, I think it's just water under the bridge, waste of time, waste of energy.
I have a question for you so that you can answer it. Can you officially confirm that UPND is in an alliance with PF?
Where UPND came as, I mean, PF, Mao Sampa came in as an individual, Charity, whatever came in as an individual, Chaps International, the man with the Lugwalo came in as an individual. I mean, people see right now the most attractive party in Zambia is UPND, whether people like it or not. So people will gravitate towards a political party that they see is going to win this election by a landslide. And some of you people you end up in hospital with BP.
You have not answered my question. The question is, those are the leaders of PF that have confirmed that they are in alliance, and your party has not said no, we are not in an alliance with them. They have accepted them. So you, Wakalinda, in the diaspora, Max Mu is listening. Let him confirm if they are in an alliance with the PF, with Lugwalo, that now they've officially welcome.
Let me answer you, Bagazia. The UPND as a party, we do not reject any.
Sorry, I'm not talking about rejection.
No. Let me finish.
But answer my question.
I'm coming.
Can I repeat the question?
No, you don't have to repeat. I know what you asked, and I'm trying to answer you, but you want to ask another question.
No, I'm not answering my question. I simply ask you.
I want to answer you. If you give me time, I'll answer your question.
What is my question?
What I'm saying is this.
Let me just answer him real quickly. Okay, we are in an alliance with the two PF faction. Period. We have two PF factions that have joined us. Thank you very much. Bayangana Isu, Bachilufia, Bayangana Isula, Bajejema.
So if we accept anybody can join in UPND. Even you can join if you want.
No, I'm not saying it's not about me. Me, I've already endorsed the candidate of Brad Munduvili and Makebi Zulu. So I'm not coming to join you.
You always like the losing team, eh?
Yeah, it's okay if I'm like it. This is my decision, and it has nothing to do with you whether I like it or not. you know. So even for them, but Bakalinda's confirmed that there's an alliance. That is all I wanted. Now, even if I'll discuss from that point of view. It was going to be difficult if there was no alliance. But now, since the alliance is confirmed on this platform, then we can have a conversation.
Well, anyway, that is yet to be quantified in what it means really. Is it just him, or is coming with the the rest of the members? No. What I'm saying is this, because this just happened a couple of days ago, right? It was just a couple of. What I'm saying is this just happened a couple of days ago, and we don't know the capacity on which he's coming in as an alliance.
Yes,
is he coming as a PF alliance as Mouse Sampa, or is coming as a PF alliance with all the PF members? You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that's where I'm not sure what it is, because I only saw him. Naba Charity Mwamba, I think it was Charity Mwamba. They call her the chief mourner. That lady was chief mourner. You know? So those are the two people. I only saw him going there to say, oh, we're in alliance. Same Naba Chabinga. I didn't see any other member of his team saying or confirming or denying, but only him himself. He has come up on the podium to say that. Have you ever heard anybody from Chabinga's team saying yes, well, in the UPND Alliance?
Those are the leaders you recognized as legitimate presidents of PF. So they have told you on public platform that PF now is in an alliance with UPND. Then you want another statement from where? So instead of which Nabakalinda confirm on this platform that there is an alliance and period. So let's move on.
Yes, there's an alliance with the Mouse Sampa and the Chabinga.
You are now twisting.
I know that one. I know for sure.
They will say they are the leaders. If today President HH announces to say, "Oh, not Quata Alliance, never MMD," you can't come and say, "Oh, new HH alliance." No, you say, there's an alliance between MMD and UPND. So the people you have recognized, the thing is that these are people you yourselves have recognized that they are the legitimate leaders of PF, and they're the ones that have come to join you with the people that they are in. So please,
okay, no problem. Okay, let's move ahead. Let's move ahead. I think at this point, let's go to the burning topic. And the burning topic, of course, is the one for Garry Nkombo and Bill 7. And when the president was in Solwezi, he was on TV, and he actually announced to say there are members of the UPND that didn't vote for Bill 7. And I will mention their names today. Charlie, so the president said, number one, Garry Nkombo, Bamuchima, Elias Mubanga, and I forget the other guy's name, But that's why I was so surprised. Like, Bamuchima, why has it been removed from Ministry of Health? So these are now the things that we're seeing. And people were asking, why Garry Nkombo? There were all these things. Now, there's a debate that is there, and people are saying, what are the political implications? And does this show democracy? And there's so many layers to it. Was it right? Was it wrong? I mean, was Garry Nkombo fairly treated, or was he loyal, or he wasn't loyal at the end? You know, and I heard somebody, no, he didn't vote in whatever, but he didn't vote for the bill in total. You know, Rakalin, I don't know what you feel about this whole situation of Garry Nkombo, you know, being the person that I thought would be behind the president when it came to Bill 7, because according to what we were seeing on the news, he was one of the people in the forefront preaching for Bill 7. Now to just hear that he actually didn't even vote for it, I don't know. It gives me a big question mark there. Like, what do you think?
Bachelor fear.
I know it's a tough one.
For me, I think I believe in, first of all, on one hand, I believe in the idea of collective participation, agreements, and so on and so forth. So I mean, if those 7 didn't vote for Bill 7, I mean, there's an issue there. Are they really members of the UPND? I mean, what was their motivation? Did they do it out of personal, gratification? I mean, what was their motive? That's one part. The second issue I have with that pronouncement by the president, I understand it's politicking. But I thought the laws and guidelines in Parliament that protect our members of Parliament. So what in terms of how they are doing their voting, and those are done in secrecy and all that. So the idea that I am seeing my president on the podium, basically, I mean, I'm sorry to say this, but just washing dirty laundry in public. Where does that leave our mantra that says we are going to lead by the laws of the Republic of Zambia? So to me, there, I'm having a little conflict, Rachel. I mean, I'm being honest. I think we should protect our democracy. We should respect our laws, because the Zambian people gave us this platform on the promise that we are going to protect our democracy, our constitution, that governs us. So I don't know, maybe a lawyer needs to come and talk to me whether it was that the right thing to do, or, because Parliament is resolved and the president can go ahead and disclose such information to the rest of us, so we can have a glass of wine and talk about it on a Saturday afternoon like this one. So those are the questions that those are the questions that I have. Maybe you can help me out. Because now, to me, it feels like now UPND members that are going to be elected into Parliament in the next sitting, and then, of course, we know the president is winning by a landslide. Are we instilling some fear that if they do something that they think, because sometimes this is about, your personal belief in some of these, laws that come up. So, if you don't feel comfortable, you abscond, or you vote against such kind of a bill, are you going to be verified in public? I mean, you understand what I'm saying? Are we instilling fear in our own people? And what are we doing? So I have those questions. So I will go ahead and probably consult my lawyer friends from Zambia who knows the constitution and the rules that governs Parliament. Maybe they may have a different take, but to me, those are the questions. I mean, they did it. I mean, we all know that they did it, but what was the motivation? what was the motivation on behalf of it. So those are my thoughts. Maybe you have a different take on it. Talk to me about it, but
well, you see this one. That's why I'm saying it's a bit tricky because it obviously has different layers to it. But the fact of the matter is, I think for the president, the whole president to come up and say that or mention that, I think it had to take him, probably to his age, because look, Garry Nkombo is considered to be, one of his right-hand men, right? And if you've got running an organization like a political party like it is, and you've got a right-hand man, this is a person that obviously you share deep strategies, deep secrets, and only to find out that he's not, agreeing with what you guys are discussing, because obviously there was a cabinet meeting. They always have these cabinet meetings and they discuss these issues. And if really he may not have loved or liked, Wakazia, choose which one you want. Okay. Yeah. So, yes, we can hear you. Right. We can hear you. So, I don't know that. So, like I was saying, I mean, he was his right-hand man. And his right-hand man is the person that you share strategies. And at the end of the day, if his right-hand man sits down and says, yes, I'm agreeing, we agree. Yes, we're not in agreement. Yes. You're sitting on the round table and you all agree. And then you suddenly realize that your right-hand man actually is not agreeing with you. How do you explain that, or how would you react to that? So that's something I feel maybe he felt I mean, he just felt disappointed, or he felt betrayed, really. Maybe the president must have felt betrayed, so Bakazia, I don't know what your feeling is on this one.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
You see, it is you guys are in trouble, and the country is really, really in trouble. You see, you can't have the president to go and wash that dirty linen in public. So he's officially told the people he named to tell their side of story. That is what the president has done there. So right now, Garry Nkombo must give us his position. Muchima must give us his position. And the last Manga must give us his position. If the president is going to be removing people because they don't agree with him, it's not a cabinet policy decision. It's a matter of the law. You see, members of parliament are not supposed to be seeing presents to the president. Garry Nkombo's removal had nothing to do with the way he voted. He was, by the time they were voting, Garry Nkombo had been removed a long time ago. Even Muchima, I think, was removed a long time ago. When they were voting, that was nothing. But to accept blind patriotism and blind loyalty, that is what is being done right there. If the president is making these decisions and then he wins with landsliding the numbers the way you guys are saying, what have we done to the democracy? He can as well be a life president. For me, if the trajectory that the president has taken holds, where he is now just speaking about himself. Look at how he spoke about you yourselves, you guys that are there. He said there's nothing about members of parliament. It's about the president. It's about me, the president. It is not about this. It's like the head, just say it's about the head, not the fingers and the feet, so that the body functions as one. He completely killed the members of parliament in that speech. And remember, it is here on this platform which I told you that the problem is that everything is just the president. Even members of parliament were just singing, oh, the president. Now he goes on a podium and he tells people it's about me and not them. So tell me what a member of parliament for UPND is going to do. Because I'll ask him to say the president is one person. So what is it that you can do? We do not want to have that kind of leadership in Zambia right now. The president is a good economic. He has very good economic understanding of what he's doing in private terms, but in public terms, he doesn't. He is far alone. He is way alone to the point that now even you guys that are here are having problems justifying why people must give you the next mandate. You are now going to have problems. If Garry Nkombo can be treated like that because of voting that doesn't want to be 7 to 8, members of parliament, but they don't have to agree with you even if you are president for everything. If you do things wrong, they should say no, and you should still respect their decision, and they should still be part of you, because it's not on everything that they've said no. It is on one thing out of the 100 things that you've taken to parliament. It is on one thing they don't agree with you. Now you come and get this one thing and you throw it and kill them, chop their heads off on one thing. You forget the 99 things they've done for you to be in the state house. You forget that. And this is just a warning to all other members of parliament that are there and other ministers. If you think you're going to be treated better than that, watch the space. You will be chopped off and you'll be thrown out right in the field. And especially these Maos, Sampas, and the Chavingas that have become Mukuriafi UPND to the point that they've not contributed one single thing. The only thing they've contributed is their own stomach to come and get opportunities away from UPND members. We wish you luck with them, guys. We wish you luck. For me, it's now BM8 and MZ. That is now the people that you looked at. Otherwise, if you have a president, it is wrong. It is killing collective responsibility. He must not attack his people in public. It is not right to a president. And these colleagues of ours, they are too scared to tell you. They are too scared to tell you, Bakateka, if you are listening, President HH, if you are listening to this podcast, know that these people that are around you, they are there to eat. They will never come to State House and tell you the truth. They will all be there. And they are there in your face. What are you telling the people that have suffered with you, the people that have integrity, people that are loyal? What are you telling them? What are you telling them? You are telling them it's okay to have such kind of people? The president needs to refocus. This is not focus. This is not focus. It is dangerous. You are killing yourselves up, and very soon you will regret this decision when BMX and MZ come in power in August. I wish you luck, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, like I've said before, me, I'm on the fence on whatever disclosure was made today in Soweto. I don't agree with it. I mean, I think there are several other issues the president could have talked about in terms of what Garry Nkombo did, or what Bamutima did. I think he could have. I mean, he's got the powers to do whatever he wants to do with. I mean, he can disappoint and appoint people willy-nilly if he wants. So I think castigating them in public over voting, to me, I think that was just going low. I think the president was emotional because, I mean, if you think about it, Garry Nkombo, this is a man he's been with through thick and thin for the last 23 years. So he probably felt betrayed. I mean, I get it. I understand it. But, there are ways to handle it, but disclosing that information at the rally in Solwezi, I don't think that's the right thing to do. However, but Kazia keeps talking about BMA, whatever it. I mean, and Marukula. I mean, he's talking about those two hearts who have failed. What is Nani? They have failed miserably.
When did they
They have failed miserably. He's even failing to tell us what his policies are.
The
only policy he has is, I'm going to rule like Malungu. Zambian, do you want to go back to the era of gases, of beaten up in markets? He can't even explain himself. He doesn't even understand
the only thing
the economy. The man doesn't understand how the economy works. No, he failed to answer.
The goodness with that group is not about an individual.
He failed. Malukula was rejected by his own people in Malambo. Even after being
let me speak about them so that you understand.
Don't come here and defend like that. No, to God. When you are talking about that, I've been noting your points. Let me speak my mind out. So that Zambians understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. In his own words, at BMA, Mundwile said he's going to rule us like Lungu did. He has no vision for the Republic of Zambia. Where now we have the biggest ever in history since Zambia was created. We have 6.3 billion in foreign reserves. When have you ever seen the country have such reserves in our own history? Even from Banani, from Bakaunda, Nanuyu, RB left 3-point-something billion reserves. By the time the PF for Balungu was voted out, we had less than 100 million in forex reserve.
Let's welcome our new guest. Guys, before we get carried away. We got Rahib Bauka. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that word correctly. Rahib Bauka, can you just correct us and introduce yourself?
Yeah, you are correct. My name is Bauka Kwambwa. I'm based here in Namibia.
Oh, fantastic. Welcome to the podcast. We usually, congregate here every Saturday. And you're welcome. And we obviously been talking about, I don't know if you had a chance to look at the topics of today.
No, I just saw the message now to say there is this live streaming. So I haven't looked at it, yeah.
Well, let me just bring you up to speed. I'll just bring you up to speed. So basically, we discussing today, the first thing we discussed was Mount Sampa, joining the UPND Alliance. And we also been talking about Garry Nkombo. And being mentioned today, if you watched when the president went to Solwezi, he mentioned that he was one of the 4 members of parliament that actually voted against Bill 7. So, and people have been questioning, was it right for the president to come out publicly and condemn him, or was the president now pushed to his edge that he had to just reveal it? Because obviously that, Bill 7 happened some time back. And now, of course, that's where we are basically. And, we're trying to shift into next year. That's where you found us. I mean, if you got contributions.
No, thank you for the update. Let me hear the discussions first.
Okay. All right. So,
let me
finish. Let us finish and then you can come in.
Twice anomba kuliba malukula. Malukula makepi Zulu. Let me repeat again. Malukula makepi Zulu. You guys have been telling us he's a top lawyer. He's a top lawyer. I've always asked on this platform, how many cases has Malukula Makepi Zulu won? Because most of the people he represented, they are serving sentences. Names in question.
Top note.
Top note. Look at it. At Bowman Musambo. Bulldozer. He's bulldozing his way in Mwembeshi prison. Bashilangwa is in prison. That former minister of tourism, he's in prison. So tell me, when you come up to me and said Malukula is a top-notch lawyer, tell me which cases he has won. Then I respect that. And then he is a one-term president. Kumalambo, his own people in Malambo, Eastern Province, they rejected him. Now you want to give him a chance to rule us? Vane. South Africa is losing. I mean, come on. Let's be serious, Vane. Let's be serious and honest with each other. But I'm just warning Zambians, you vote those people back in, reserves gone. The reserves are going to be gone. The economy is going to go in the toilets again.
Where's mute yourself for now before you join the conversation? Yeah, mute yourself for now, Wawezi. Thank you. Go ahead, Bakalinda.
So Zambians, be cautious. Otherwise, whistles in your homes again. The foreign reserves that you're enjoying right now, those will be gone. We don't need such kind of characters running the affairs of Zambia. Somebody is failing to bring the body to be buried in Zambia, and then he's running on a platform. When you vote for us, the next day, tukaleta mubili tukashike. Shame on you, Makulukula. Uyunani BM, days. I don't want to go there. The allegations that everybody has talked about it. He was caught in a cookie jar. Helping himself to government fund. Come on, people. Let's be serious. I end here. South. Oh my God.
Before you come in, Bakazia. Okay, go ahead. We need to bring in Wawezi real quick because in Zambia network is bad.
Because it really tough. Then let me answer.
Okay, go ahead.
In the first, it's very, very famous when you talk about macroeconomic miracle, where citizens are taught to admire foreign exchange reserves, while they can't afford meal, fuel, rentals, and even a decent breakfast. This is like a doctor, and let us celebrate the patient's blood pressure.
Just in case,
meanwhile,
it's 190 kwacha.
But what am I supposed to back in the watching? Can you
let him speak real quick because what Wawezi to join in real quick.
It's like a doctor celebrating the patient's blood pressure. It looks excellent while the patient is already in the mortuary. Even when they protect the gains, what gains there? I'm a gains at IMF headquarters, huh? or Gens in Kanyama, Mrs. and Chawama, Kumatero, where people are surviving on less than $1 a day. You remove the debt choke, that to remove the debt choke. Yes, only to inject an Ebola says the economy. Marika mo Ebola, mafumiamo debt choke. Mafumiamo endless borrowing, brutal cost of living. Mule Kongola na nomba. Mwasangile, iyo Kongola mwasangile 11 billion. Where is the credit? Which is confirmed by Musokotwani. You parade reserves on PowerPoint presentations. Citizens are buying tomatoes like what is Kapana do. What are we talking about? And now comes the contradiction. Here, one say where you tell, oh, the previous government borrowed recklessly for consumption. But over 90% of what you found was supposedly run at bad date. Why has the solution been more borrowing? The solution has been more borrowing. You were saying, oh, moratorium on borrowing. You were condemning now and then borrowing. You restructure debt, then you borrow again, increase dependence on the IMF. You celebrate reserves beyond partly on your inputs. $8.5 billion FIC. Investigated. 80 billion yalisangwa mu China. No one talks about it. Escalating debt restructuring celebrations. Meanwhile, later I'm jobs and peace. Now, meanwhile, this is the things that are very true to the Zambian people. Ordinary Zambians, are experiencing what? Expensive fuel, expensive electricity, expensive minimum, expensive farming input, expensive everything is expensive except our salaries. So, people are complaining. Who is benefiting from this economic fundamental? 6 billion Bank of Zambia. Meanwhile, they cannot, you see, you see, people must feel when the economy does better. They must feel it. Not a selected few working with international businessmen and companies. Yes.
Okay.
When you look at the international systems,
all right, you got a few seconds to close down.
In terms of auctioning
Conclusion.
In conclusion, UPND has done well in international capital investment, yes. For foreigners, yes. But Zambia, where it matters most, that is where the game is. So I'm against Zayomulelanda. They can't happen overnight. But if they're not happening overnight for the other Zambians, why are they happening overnight for the people that are stealing 3.5 billion?
Free education. Free education.
Okay. No, we'll come back and rebuttal him nicely, because there are things that he's saying that it needs deeper understanding in this economics. But let me welcome back Wezi. Wezi is in Zambia right now, and thank you very much. I think it's a bit late for you now.
Yeah. So sorry, I've been trying to get on, and I think the network has been bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Go ahead. Which topic you want to tackle?
No. You tell me. I mean, I just heard the last.
Well, we've been discussing Garry Nkombo, of course. I think you had a lot to talk about that one. You wanted to discuss that one mainly, and we also we talked about Mao Sampa, joining the alliance, and of course we're talking about the Koloboi party, which is very I don't know what I don't know those guys. I don't know what they're doing anyway. So you can start to go with what you wanted to discuss, and then let everybody hear your viewpoints on that one.
I think well, maybe I can just pick it up from the last speaker, like in terms of his views. I think I often when I engage Zambians with with this stuff, like I was at Mulongoshi, is it yesterday? Yesterday, whenever we had the conference on Thursday, when we had the conference, I was at Mulongoshi, the whole day, and I think and when I talk to average Zambians, I say, like, the truth is, yes, average Zambians don't understand economics, right? They don't understand that economies. What does it mean to have reserves, and what does it mean the inflation and all that other stuff? They don't understand that. And it's true that, you know, people only care about the cost of milling meal, the cost of meat, the cost of carpenter, the cost of all this other stuff. That's what people care about, you know. Last night I was in Chilenge at a karaoke place, and this woman just engaged me in like, electricity. Do you think that the whole power loading, load shedding it's all a fallacy, to come back and all that other stuff? But I was like, well, I can only judge the government on that issue, on what's happening now, not on assumptions, right? What's happening now is that we don't have load shedding, so I can't make assumptions on what I don't know. But I think that, it's too bad we live in a country where there's a lot of majority of people they are more familiar with social media than they are familiar with the idea of inflation, or that they are familiar with the knowledgeability of their minerals and all that other stuff. They don't know that. So to deal with that populace where, it's very difficult. It's a difficult roadmap to navigate. I think where we are in Zambia, and it's a good thing I'm here in Zambia now. I've lived half of my life outside Zambia, but it's a good thing that I'm here in Zambia. I kind of experienced both sides, like the difficulty and also the challenges, and also the excitement of what's happening in the investments in energy, in education, and all that other stuff. Like, that's very exciting for me. And I think that we have to think more of the broader picture, the longer perspective. Actually, even though our government, as UPND, actually are telling us to think, instead of talking more broadly, we need to talk more specifics in our campaign messages. And are people going to school? Are people eating at school? Are people, do we have free education? Are people all this other stuff? I think when people go to the to vote, in a couple months, when people go to vote, I think there are a couple of key issues that people will have to think about when they're making that decision at the booth. So, are their lives better now than they were, pre UPND? Are they, is the economy better in terms of are they the purchasing power, money in their pockets and all that other stuff?
Yeah, is there liquidity? Are people able to afford at least three course meals a day? What's happening there on the ground?
And the truth is, and that question, actually, if you ask me, there's no difference. In that question, there's no difference. There's no difference before PF and now. If you ask me, I'm speaking as somebody who comes back and forth in Zambia and all that stuff. If you ask me that specific question, there's no difference. So in that question, it's a neutral question, and so somebody cannot say that, well, it's worse now than it was. No, that's not true. It's better now. Not really. But what we've done is that we've been very systematic, and we've encouraged people to formalize their businesses. A person who sells vitumbua or cabbage or whatever, we encourage them to register a business, because they can register a business and then they can bid for jobs, under CDF and other avenues that are available, right? So that's better than what it was in the past. And so I think the business environment now, it's much better than what it was under PF, because it's not only those that are PF, PF subscribed or whatnot, that have the advantage. Now everybody has an advantage. As a supporter of UPND, somebody who's been supporting the party for many years, I don't even have an advantage, and that's the beauty of it. Actually, you get me. That's the beauty of it, because I don't have an advantage. It doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? It doesn't really matter. Like even if I work,
So it's not like you're going to be favored. It's not like you're going to be favored, given contract.
No. And that's the beauty of it. I think that's an equalizer in a way. It's good that, and sometimes like sometimes I feel bad and I don't feel bad, and but I'm like, that's actually a good thing. For the most part, I'm like, that's actually a good thing. If I get stopped for speeding on the highway, and I'm like, oh, should I say I'm a UPND? Should I not? And I can use that. And sometimes it bites me back. And the police officer say, well, you think you actually can get away with this because and then no, I didn't say I can get away with it. You can just charge me. You know what I mean? But the fact that the police officer can even say that, it's a good thing because they know they have the power and they know that the law now backs them up. Not the party and all that other stuff. Get my point. So that political environment also, it's also good. There's a lot of things that we could do better as a party, as a government. But I think really, to be honest, the environment in which we are now, trust me, guys, I can come to Zambia so many times, I can even shed tears. Like, we are in a much better place than what we were.
That's a good insight.
I have questions for you, my brother.
Before you come in, let's invite Vakafwimbi has just joined us. Just a new entrant. So let's give him the privilege of just briefly introducing himself and where he's joining us from. And so that we can give him a synopsis of what we've been discussing. Vakafwimbi, welcome to the show. Hello? Are you there? Are you there? Hello? Okay. Whenever you're ready, you can talk. But in the meantime, go ahead, Vakazi.
You see, there are things, of course, that would be positively identified to have happened. But in certain scenarios, we are worse. And importantly, in violence. You see, when UPND was coming into the political space, one of the things they were very clear about, the president has been clear about, is that when you do political violence, you are on your own. That statement for 5 years was there. But we saw Karufianya beat that back apple to pulp. Is free. We saw the guy who actually beat Garry Nkombo, ripped his shirt, is free. And what happens? Garry Nkombo ends up getting arrested. We saw the guy who poked the other friend in the eye in Kabwe. Who the UPND even confirmed is a member of the UPND. Reported, nothing happens. So I agree with you when you talk about certain things being in the same space. But you have also to understand that why people would complain about the expensive commodity pricing that is now different from where it was. Cost of fuel is expensive. What has happened to the people's disposable income in relation to expensive fuel, electricity, milling, transport, farming inputs? The salaries have been stagnant. So if we're going to say, in terms of affordability, we are exactly at the same scenario. Meanwhile, fuel grew by 100%. Electricity has gone over by 90%. Milling by 100%. Transport by 100%. So how can we come and say, for instance, fertilizer times 200%? So now we come and say, no. We are still the same. The way things were, and the way things
are. Let me ask you a question. Mufunya kui sama statistics here.
But because they are there.
But in conclusion, Wakazia, in conclusion.
No, but
in conclusion. In conclusion, and then we need to do a rebuttal. In conclusion, with
Matanda is asking me a question.
Okay. It's one simple question with one simple answer. Where do you get these statistics? Because they're very way off the charts.
Even CJ, the Theological Center for Theological Reflection, the numbers are there on site. You can check online right now. For instance, you can go and check the cost, the price of fuel today. You can check it there. The cost of milling today, it is there. The cost of fertilizer, it is there.
God.
So you can't come and say, oh, well, these statistics are all over. Unless you want me to go, I will put them up here and with a source.
I have access to the same information,
Yeah,
but
so
I don't know.
Tell me how much is the fuel?
No, but Mulera ndapali ashiria fertilizer. The price of it.
The way things have gone up exponentially high rather than the disposable incomes of people. If we talk about civil servants, how much growth have they responded in the salary? Ngade for 5,000 kwacha in 2021. How much is he earning today to offset that kind of cost? So those are the conversations that I'm bringing to the table.
All right. Okay. Hold that thought. We'll revisit that. We'll rebuttal you, and we'll give you the real statistics. But Mr. Habak, I think now you know what's going on, and you're at least familiar with the conversation. Do you want to come and join in, chime in, and give your opinion?
Yeah, sure. Let me just comment on I didn't hear some of the comments from other people. The network was bad, but I want to say that if I look at the way the situation was before 2021 and now, there is really a huge difference. What I've observed before 2021, only a few people could afford certain things, and now there is equal opportunity for everyone. I heard a colleague mentioning saying that you don't have to be UPND to be stopped by a policeman, and I think that is a positive thing, that you don't have to belong to a certain party. The bottom line is that you are a Zambian. That should be the main. So I think there are a lot of positives, and we do not expect to see really outcomes in a short period. I think with the time, there are certain things that will come to fruition. For instance, in terms of investment in infrastructure, education, these are things we are seeing now. But I don't think that those things were there for 2021. For now, I want to leave it there. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Vakalinda, I think you had some powerful messages or rebuttal for Vakazia.
For me, I'm just going to call out figure. Compare the two. Not to just come up here and say, no, few said the court. No. Let's not just be window dressing. I'll start with a bag of 25 kilograms of mealie meal breakfast. The cost is at 190 kwacha. I speak in Lusaka. Before, by UPND, by PF, you left a bag of mealie meal at 170 kwacha.
That is not true.
Let's go there. The economy, Bakazia, I'll let you talk. The economy was in the toilets. You are the first government we've ever had, and the entire, these are facts. In the entire world where you go and borrow and you fail to pay. That's on record. let's come to the price of fuel. I'll give it to you. Yes, the price of fuel is a little higher. Yeah, I know. You guys left it at 15. Now it's about 27. So I give you. There's like a 10 kwacha. There's like a 10 kwacha difference, and we are working on it. This is not something that can be reduced overnight, based on the history of where we're coming from. Let's be honest about that. And let's talk about then. I move on from the price of fuel. You guys left the foreign exchange between the U.S. dollar and kwacha. It was at 22 kwacha.
That is not true again.
When you left, the forex now is where it's at 16 kwacha and something. In some cases, it's even at 15 kwacha. So what are you talking about? And then to cap it off, you talk about, there's violence. There's more violence now. But where were you when Joseph Kaunda was being shot point blank in public in view of thousands, if not millions, because it was caught on camera by PF? Where were you when the young girl was killed in public during a protest? Where were you when Sama was killed during a protest? Actually, a peaceful procession in Lusaka. Where were you? Who has died from all these fights? And even if UPND cadres are involved in violence, guess what's happening? They are arrested, and we are waiting for the due process to take effect. And some of them are being expelled from the party. That is a fact. The media has reported on this over and over and over again. So don't tell us. There is no gassing, Kuzambi. Let's
let me just chime in on the fuel, because I think you gave him some kudos. You should take it back. Now I'm going to give you some information here that even Wakazia, I'm sure he knows, but he's just been keeping it under his wraps. The reason why fuel was cheap during the Patriotic Front, it's because they had borrowed. Okay? They had borrowed over $477 million of fuel and used it as subsidized the fuel sector. That's what they did. Now, it was looking cheap to Zambian people, but they did not know the mathematics behind why the fuel was cheap. Now, when we came in as the UPND government after 2021, we found out that, look, these people were actually borrowing all this fuel. They were not paying for it. So they found a debt. It now exceeded, with all the interest, to about 800 or going over 800 million. This current government had to settle that. If you remember, there was that ship which was parked to Mozambique there, pumping fuel. That was all on borrowed money, or promissory notes, whatever you can call it. So for them to start claiming that, fuel was cheap during the PF, it's not true. It was cheap, but was it paid for? And who paid for it? It's the current government that paid for it. Now, this guy, you can imagine this. The current government paid for that, and now they're struggling just to level up now. Because us, we don't believe in subsidizing, fuel and all this other stuff. We want the consumers to get the real value. Okay? Not just to hoodwink people. To say, things are cheap, things are what? But at the end of the day, it's huge debts. So, Vakazia, please, that is not true. And once fuel is the way you were running the government at the time was a way in which the mafias rule certain worlds or certain countries. Very, very unprofessional, and you get things by any means. You don't consider humans, how it's going to affect them in the next coming 10 years. Look at now. The PF is gone, but who's paying for the debt? Who's paying for all those things you were saying? If it on borrowed money, which now the current government is paying. You see what I'm saying? So there's nothing good about the PF that we can write home about, because they did things that and if I look at this Lamp Party or PF Alliance,
let me bring you to sentence. Let me bring you to certain speed on certain things. Number one, the PF was a very attractive party. That is why you are in an alliance with them. You have chosen that
we are not in an alliance with them. They've chosen to come to us. No. There's a difference. If you're saying we are in an alliance with them, they are. They are not we are.
A long time ago, we went through that.
They are not we are. They are not we are.
You are the ones that are in government.
Which is Sungu. They are not we are.
No, you, because you are the ones that are governing. You are the ones that are governing. No, and then let me first of all tell you certain facts. Now we should have Pandora's box where we should be making progress. One, not anyone else. Where are you lying to the Zambian people when you told them that you are 15 kwacha? Meanwhile,
we were not lying.
We were not lying when you said you were 50 kwacha.
We were not lying.
Where are you lying when you said you wunga fertilizer about 250 kwacha? Where are you lying?
We were not lying. But here's the thing.
Where are you lying when you said when a person beats someone who is on his own? Where are you lying? And yet Kalufianya, so they are still free today. They were there beating someone.
No, they're on the run. They're looking for them. They are not
there. The videos are there live. You see,
straightforward. Because look at this.
When you want to facts,
nobody's twisting facts.
They were borrowing and Kazungula Bridge, Bazabuka Type 10 Big Road, all the provincial health centers that were built, Patala School. They are being used by the Zambians, whether they were paid for or not, but they're being used. What have you made?
We paid off those debts.
You have not paid
and
off.
We're now building more.
$3.5 billion more river. Fake is there, fake report. How did the $80 million find itself in China?
Did fake say no? Vakazia. We all see those. No. We all see those fake reports.
Where
does fake say UPND? No, it just says
the president was saying it the day fake report he received is already in my investigations now. It has been how many years? 80 million more to me China accidentally. You know, these are things that we are opening just a Pandora's box where we shouldn't be waiting. What we going forward. Not to grab
we cannot agree with the issues of you lying to the public.
What have I said which is not true?
There's so many things. You first of all,
a list of what I've said and say it's woofy. Tell me.
First of all, look, you posed questions. You say Mwalira Pavunga.
No, ufi mpangile mulande povunga. Uvunga mwalande ati 50 kwacha, buli 50 kwacha uvunga.
Now look at this. What year were we saying that? Now, here's the thing.
Tell me, you are telling me the year when you were lying like that.
They're not table fee. We were projecting. Chimo chine na mufika. And then when we came in, we tosa twasange nkongole. Tostampo clean nkongole. And then, you know what, instead of us doing developmental projects, listen to this, Bakazia. Listen to this, 10-1. Instead of us concentrating on developmental projects, we ended up trying to restructure the debt that you guys left.
What are you talking about?
It left us with no room to do what we wanted to do in the beginning. Same thing with all these other issues like fuel and everything else. It's the same thing. Mamon, we were projecting at Ikabaso, but also to Sange Nkongole. How can we give Zambian people to subsidize with all the PF tactics? No.
It's because of what? Drought. You said they don't have brains. There is no leadership. What happened?
Now here, let me answer you.
The economic fundamentals cannot allow you to show up at 50 kwacha. It is not possible. What did you do?
Let me come in. No.
Okay, Mr. Habauka, please, can you be the referee today?
It's very difficult because it seems like they have already made up their mind. The point is that you can't. UPND didn't have the data. You can predict, but if you don't have the correct data, your prediction will always be wrong.
I agree with
wrong
you.
Information. You are given something to say, oh, that's why petrol is so cheap. But you are given wrong information. You don't know how that fuel was obtained, or was it bought on cash, or is debt.
I agree with you.
You end up predicting wrongly.
What if you have the data?
So you can't blame UPND if they have not achieved certain targets. No. You should ask why certain targets are not being achieved.
But the
there's always a plausible explanation.
I think let's can we just first of all go to the big 7 goals. I think let's go there. Let's not just go round and round in circles. Let us go to the big 7 goals. It's being coined as the 10-10-5-3-3-1-1. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that one. So this is basically the core of all the the manifesto, and what is going to lead to an economic emancipation in the next 5 years. So this, Kazi, I think you were asking a question of, is there a timeline? Well, this manifesto is from now to 2031. So,
but and what is the formula that you are talking about? 3 what?
10-10-5-3-3-1-1. That's the key.
Meaning what?
Okay, 1. 10,000 megawatts of power is going to be generated. 10 million tons of maize production. 5 million tourist, arrivals. 3 million tons of copper production. 3 million tons of soya production. 1 million tons of wheat production, and $1 billion of beef exports. So that's the 10-10-5-3-3-1. This is the language. This is the code, and this is the core and the heartbeat of what the manifesto.
Where do the 10 international airports fall in that? And the 10 universities fall.
Sorry.
Where do the 10 international airports fall?
No. First of all, the manifesto is huge. If you want to go into details, it's gonna take us like maybe 5 hours or whatever if you want to do that. Okay, so we have to pick on the pillars. So all these pillars will lead to all that. So once we do all these things that are here, it's going to lead to all those things you're talking about, because it has to start from somewhere. I mean, if you understand economics, by the way, me, I'm a graduate of business school, one of the toppest schools here in Canada. Black class. So I know what I'm talking about when I'm saying these things. So 10, 10, 5, 5, 5, 3, 3, 1, 1 will lead to all those things. Like the way the PF used to wake up, they started building universities all around. You can imagine the PF, they started building abruptly from 2011 to about 2021. They started building about 3 or 5 universities.
Where were they built?
Let me start naming them. One, it was Kapasa Makasa.
Yes.
The other one, FTJ, unfinished.
FTJ has not been built.
Unfinished. They started, all that stuff, and the money was even found.
Talk about what they finished.
No. I'm not talking about.
We're talking about what was planned and what was achieved.
What I'm saying is this: the PF started. They had an ambition, okay, and they unfinished projects of university. They reach up to about 5 of them. Within a space from 2011 to 2021.
Just run me through the ones that were started and unfinished.
But the problem with them is they didn't understand how to do business and how to do these things. Okay, so you want to tupange hapa palaba FDJ hapa palaba nani kanikapasa hapa palaba shan, and then but the thing is this: the money was there, money was found, but vapanga fechi slab na chi building ichapwa, contractors left, people put money in their pockets because there was so much corruption at the time.
Which universities are those, Vachanda? Can you name them just for the purposes of this conversation so that we take note of them?
I think in him, oh, okay. Hold on. Let me go back to my notes because I was actually writing them down the other day.
Yes, please do that.
So where was that?
You said like Kapasa Makasa University.
Kapasa Makasa.
It is what?
Kapasa Makasa. Even it was even on TV. It was even on TV. People were even reporting, about it.
Then number 2.
Kwali bana FTJ. And then Kwali bana. Hold on. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, I was looking for my notes. Yeah. So Makasa. So Kapasa Makasa. This is in the northern sector. Okay. So there's another university for college and technology that they were trying to do.
Name them, please. Name them.
That's the names. It's Zambia University College of Technology.
Where is supposed to be?
This one they didn't specify wherever it was supposed to be. But they had an ambitious journey between 2011 and 2021 to build all these at once.
But you don't leave me behind. You said there are 5 that
now listen to this. The only university that survived, that the UPND actually came and say, you know what, let's finish it. It's Palavana University. Palavana University was left in shambles. They started it. It was also it was among the list from 2011 to 2021. 2021, it was an unfinished building. Okay, now it's finished. Now it's a university. Students Palavana. You know where Palavana is. Okay.
Yes,
yeah. So these are the universities. Some.
Do you know that Kapasa Makasa was operational in 2021 and the students were there? Are you aware about that? That is a place where I was actually born. I was born next to that university, on a place called Mulakupikwa. That university was operational and the students were there in 2021. Was operational at the time 2021. It has been operational since then. You even heard that the students go online. If you don't agree with me, students even protested closing the Great North Road. It has been operational. It is operational. In 2021, it was. Please get your facts right.
No, the facts are good. You are the one. I'm just giving you what you guys were planning, but never did.
You that
now, let's talk about.
Let me just help you out for just a minute. Let's not forget that planned university, which is Sally, that they spent millions of dollars.
If you want, I can help you, Bakalinda, by bringing the information around the universities and telling you which was finished and which was not.
No, there were a lot. There were a lot that were never. There were a lot.
No, I can tell you the names because I think I'm mingo information and this information.
Okay, no problem. Okay, no problem. I think the question or the bone of quotation here is the 10. No, the bone of quotation here, the main question is you're asking us, how are we going to build the 10 universities? That's your main question, isn't it?
No, I have not asked about the universities. Because the universities...
But you are the one who was saying that. What about the 10 universities?
No, I was talking about the airports, international airports. That's what I was telling you about. It wasn't the universities, 10 international airports that you want to give. I was saying, where are the 10 international airports in your conversation? In this 10-5-5, because we are mentioning 10 this, 10 this, 10 this. 10 international airports is huge investment and it's huge.
Yeah.
Where are they in the plan? In the manifesto, are they there?
Or they are there. It's a 52-page manifesto.
Down the 10 are not there. You're not mentioning them.
No, but Rakazia Moneni. Let me give you an example. Look, if we succeed with all these things, then all those things we're talking about will come into fruition. Because first of all, we need to be a productive country. It means that we have to put production first. We need to put the priorities first.
I can't hear you, Achanda. You've disappeared. Hello?
Seems he's gone.
Gone. He's gone.
Okay, I think it's probably his mic. Well, so let me take over a little bit here.
Okay.
I think the question is Bakazia and our guest from Namibia is the 10 points bulletin that the UPND has put forward, like 10 universities in each of our provinces, 10 million tons of maize production, 3 million tons of copper. What is 10 million megawatts of electricity production, and all these others. Are they feasible in the next 5 years? I think that would be the question that I'll be asking. So anyone can pick up. So maybe we should start with our gentleman in Namibia and ask: are these points that we're putting, the plans, are they feasible in the next 5 years? So let me start with the gentleman in Namibia. Please come in and speak your mind.
Yeah, I at the moment I cannot say because I need to do the analysis. I only came to learn about these targets 2 days ago, so I don't want to put my head on the block. But looking at the status of the economy, the debt restructuring, I have this gut feeling that it is possible. But I cannot substantiate that.
All right, Bakazia, you have the floor. Very wonderful views there. You and I on that one. I think are aligned, but yeah, I'm very positive because I can compare from where we are and where we're going. Go ahead, Bakazia.
So, Bakalinda, UPND, usually, the UPND's documentation, statements, they are in on point. You can't falter you guys when you sit down to explain what you want to do. The problem comes that you say this and then you do the opposite. When you guys sit down and talk out your document, talk about the plans, it is very good. Anyone sitting down listening to it goes like yes. But when you come to action now, operatives of what you've said, it is where you are caught napping. It is where now, when people start to question you, there is no point of reflection to say, here we are wrong, therefore we need to change course. Here we are right, therefore we need to move on. There is a way of rationalizing failure, rationalizing deceit. And I give you specific examples. I'll give you examples on political violence. I give you that example. Political violence made the PF lose power. Harassing of people.
Let me read Let's stick to an example. Let's stick to the 10 points. And the 10 points have nothing to do with the violence.
Let me come to that. Let me come to that. Because what I mean is that.
Sorry guys, my I don't know what happened with my phone. I'm back.
When you come and act, umuntu nomba aima nisimwachira landa na mulemba nokulemba ngati wakusangole uma abantu twala kwikata.
Bakasia, you are losing the audience. You are losing the audience. Let's stick to the 10 points.
Use the current audience.
No, it's not Tulanda Pokale.
No, the failure to hold up to what you say and say. And I must give an example which is very important. Which happened 2 weeks ago, not long ago. Garry Nkombo.
Okay. All right. Can I continue where I left off from?
What? No, let me just finish, then you continue.
Yeah, well, you got 2 seconds because you're out of the topic. We're talking about the 7 goals now. If you start to run the
comes in where you give me chance to speak, and then half of my time is consumed by your interjection.
No, not to run the apocalypse.
But you are digressing, Bakazia. You are losing the audience. We are talking about the 10 targets that we have put forward. Nothing to do with political violence.
Look at this.
Let's stick to the target. Let's stick to the targets.
You see, unless you don't want to hear my opinion, then you can just say,
violence, you talked about it.
Stop interjections.
Oh, can you conclude so that we talk about important things?
In conclusion.
Is very, very professional here. You are interjecting.
Oh my God.
In conclusion.
No, but conclude,
Yes, I want to conclude, and I was giving you an example of the conclusion to say, even with this point of plan, when you plan good. It's your execution that is bad because
it's 7 goals. It's HH7. HH7. So that's not getting confused. It's HH7. 7 goals.
Unless you are going to agree that when you start talking, I behave the way you are behaving.
No, but you're saying 10 points. I want to correct you, Jabi. I want you to disseminate the right information to the public.
You will disseminate. If I'm wrong, you correct me after I speak. That is how correction is done. You don't correct someone.
No, okay. Listen
how I suffer here. I also joined my suffering, isn't it? Correct if I'm wrong. And I said, the plans that you have, your manifesto, you write good things. You say right things. Exclude, that is when you go now to exclude something else. And I'm giving an example of where you say good things and exclude the wrong things. And I was giving an example. It is an example. It's not in your manifesto. It's an example of where you speak and end up doing wrong things. Two examples I wanted to give. One, I said violence, mulakandema, but muntu ngauma, my rights are going to State House. Number two, why Mamwalanda Vandetta to Takatara 58, the next thing, so those are some of the things that when you are speaking, do you do your analysis? If you have done deep analysis of the things and you know what you're speaking about, how come you come and do things in the wrong way? So if you can be consistent with the things that you say and do, which I doubt, you will find.
Okay. All right. We've heard your point. Thank you very much, Wakazia, for that. Thank you very much for your bravery and your heartfelt contribution. But let's go back to what I was trying to explain. So the HH7 is something that it's what we call the 7 goals. Okay, so it's projected to generate about $65 billion annual in income value. Now, it will create over 2 million new jobs. And Koloboi party, they were saying that they want to create what you call it, 3 million even.
Landeni fiefie we have Koloboi.
If 2 million, how if we need 3 million?
Manifesto yabo.
So no. You were talking now. I want
what you were doing now. You see what how it.
I want to give I want to give a synopsis for this one because obviously you don't have this information or this document, but I want to give a synopsis. So 10 million megawatts, and I was trying to explain that the reason why that is important is we're heading into a huge industrialization as we speak, and for us to create all those 2 million jobs that we're talking about, we need to have power, we need to have energy, we need to power all these industries, and they need to be working 24/7. That's where it's going to come from. It's not going to come from government per se to say, oh, we're going to employ 2 million. No. So that's the misconception that is there. People are thinking that, oh, government is going to employ 2 million people. No.
Which people are saying?
This is going to come from the industries. These are going to be indirectly jobs from all the industries and all these things that we're talking about relating to the power that's going to be generated. Now, Ngamwaya ku 10 million. So 10, that's the first 10. Second 10 is 10 million tons of maize production. 10 million tons of maize. I mean, look at Zambia. We've got arable land. We've got land everywhere. And the only way to do this is we have to restructure it and think of having maize production all year round. That's it. Talking about irrigation, talking about winter maize, talking about rain-fed maize, like fields will be flourishing. And this will actually help us in terms of what? Food reserves, food, production, food, and making sure that everybody is fed. So, and it's also going to feed our neighbors. Yeah, my son is making noise here. Can you close the door? Jesus Christ. So 5 million tourists. Of course, we know Zambia, we huge on tourism. Zambia is the hub of tourism. Everybody is wishing to come to Zambia. Like everybody, even here where I live, Ganalanda, everybody's, oh my God, I was seeing a video about, the Sappho's. It's like, oh yeah, it's beautiful. Oh my God, it's nice. Everybody wants to come there. So, and now if you go to the 3 million tons of copper production, people have been laughing, have been saying, oh, Yahweh, yeah, that's impossible. That's Jakabeshani, hey, ticket. Like, look, last year alone, last year, Zambia, we were about 890,000 thousand metric tons, sorry, of copper production. Now, how hard? We just shy a million tons. So how hard is it in the next coming 5 years to ramp up with all these new mines coming up? Now, keep in mind, that's possible because we've been surveying our our land and our resources. Now, government has now all the data in its hands. When an investor comes in to say, I want to invest in the mining sector, they'll simply tell him, like, look, we can, instead of you investing a lot of money in excavating and trying to find where they eat things, we can pinpoint and tell you where it is. That's a shortcut. Give you all the mining licenses that you need. Start production immediately. You win, we win. So it's an attractive environment. So that is possible. 3 million tons of soya production. Who doesn't want to farm? And the president announced, because remember, in fact, I even wrote a paper. I don't know if you guys remember. I wrote a paper. I said there was a time in period when the argument started between China and the US. I actually, because if you go to history, China has been importing a lot of soya from the United States. And I wrote a letter saying, like, look, Mr. President, this is the time for us to come in. Why don't we take advantage of this? This was, I think a year or 2 years ago. Why don't we take advantage of this? While they are fighting, can we take advantage of, China is our friend, is our all-weather friend. They can buy our soya in a heartbeat. While they're trying to figure out their relationship, us already have a relationship with China. And the president actually mentioned that China has already bought 2 million tons of already, they've already bought it. So the farmers, all they need to do is just plant. 1 million tons of wheat production, okay? And 1 billion tons of beef exports. So these are the 10, 10, 5, 3, 3, 1, 1. This is the bone of quotation. And all this is going to lead everything else that you're talking about. They'll come from all these things. The HH77 goes. It's going to come from here. I think I want to hear from Mr. Bauka. I think we need your expertise on this one.
Thank you very much for the clarification and for elaborating on this point. You had gone out briefly, and I said that for me, my issue now is to analyze the how. The point is that we, as a country, I think the way the economy is and what UPND has done, these are achievable. And I think you have substantiated some of the points, these 7 goals you mentioned. As I said, maybe when we have the next discussion, I'll also come up with my own points to substantiate how we are going to achieve this. So I'll leave it there for now.
Thank you very much. And of course, Wakalinda.
Well, I mean, these are straightforward, targets to me, because I look at where are we coming from and where we are and where we're going, because people need that to make a decision at the end of, in the middle of August. I mean, let's start with agriculture. Just one example, maize. This year, how much maize did we produce? 4.7. And our target in the next 5 years is what? 10 million tons. We have all our neighbors from Kenya, Tanzania, Congo DR, Namibia, in fact, lining up for our maize. because it's top A grade. So that's production there. That's, we are exporting, and then we're bringing in the dollars. And with that, it reduces, our kwacha becomes powerful. The dollar kwacha rate, becomes more attractive. We might even get to 5 kwacha to $1 at some point. I can see that happening from all these targets or whatever is happening now. Mining, copper. Before, I'm not even going to go there because somebody's going to jump on it. But let me just pick on this year's target. How much are we getting this year? 1 million tons? And we're saying we can't get to 3 million in the next 5 years when we are opening up Lobito Corridor, new mines are opening up. That's feasible, because we have a plan. We have a roadmap on how we're going to do this. So that's a coin right there. Mm-hmm. Education. We are saying those provinces that don't have universities, we are going to give them universities. How many provinces don't have university? I will mention, for instance, Northwestern. They don't have a university. So it's possible for the government to say, well, you know what? We have thousands of millions of our people, not accessing university education in their own provinces. Let's put one there. And there's plenty of land to do that. So that's feasible because we have seen it, What else am I missing? What else am I missing? Because I like to compare. Because I love figures. So with the beef, right? With the beef. Remember those abattoirs the president just opened earlier this year in Kalomo? Mm-hmm. You know how much beef is being exported? We are probably the 250 million, and we're saying we want to export to 1 billion. The market is already there. Like I say, Congo, they're buying our top quality beef, and abattoirs have been opened. They meet international standards. So that's a target. That's a plan. We're already doing it. All we need is time to invest, and when we do that, more people have jobs. The standard of living is going to get better for our people. And, Zambia will develop. When we're talking about airports, look at what this government has done. So international airports, I see that feasible because one, I'm thinking we're going to go into provincial centers or capitals to put up those international airports. This government has already done. Look at Kasama Airport, how we found it, where it is now. Even Solwezi Airport. We can do this. We are doing it. There's a plan. So in a nutshell, to me, those targets are very much low-hanging fruit, and I think we can do more. And more by meaning, look, we have had free education for the past, how many? These kids now are graduating, they're going into colleges. We're going to have a very skilled, very intelligent labor force going forward. And then just one more point in mining. Now in our target, we are saying any mining investor that comes in, we are saying, look, you can't just come in and own our minerals. You have to share it with Zambians at 50%. How great is that? How great is that? Bachilufia. How great is that?
I think let me just add on before. I think Bakazia, you've got something to say.
Yeah, I do have something to say actually. And
okay, go ahead, and then I'll add on later on.
Yeah,
let's give you a chance.
So I have a few concerns, and these are the things that I would want to see. Number one, has the UPND produced any document of the assessment of the achievements of the last 5 years?
Yes, the manifesto is there.
Okay,
I'll send you a soft copy.
Listen to this. When I say that, the assessment, because if you go into the 2021 manifesto, bring out and say, these are the things that we wrote and which we've achieved in that manifesto. They are here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and these are the statistics. Because there are a lot of things which were in the manifesto, which UPND found to be challenges because at one time they were saying they didn't have enough information in terms of maybe climate resilience and that things of climate and stuff like that.
That's a good question. That's a good question.
Then, one of the things is that there has to be appreciation of continuity where your friends left. The manifesto was being presented in a hole which was left by Edgar Lungu. Meanwhile, you are hammering on your predecessors.
Which hole are you talking about?
You don't know the whole...
No, I want you to mention it.
The Kenneth Kaunda wing at Mulungushi International Conference Center. You know that was done by the PF. You know that, eh?
Yeah, that, in fact, you've made me laugh. You know why? That we were supposed to pay the Chinese government money for that project.
No, it wasn't.
But you have asked me. Let me answer you.
We
were supposed to pay the Chinese government for the whole project, for the whole thing, the international everything. But the Chinese government, after UPND came into power, they decided to gift us.
But you have no idea. And this is why at times we land ourselves in those troubles where we are because of information distortion like that. If you check my Facebook page,
anyway,
let me give you a typical example to tell you how much I know about it. If you go to my profile on Facebook page and you see me with Dr. Kaunda, that was a groundbreaking. That hand you said you pushed on my head, it was on the groundbreaking of that conference.
Yeah, well, yeah, but
and
that doesn't mean anything. But what is happening behind the books? Were you there behind the dues? Were you there when they're doing the dues?
I was the permanent secretary at that time, and I was brief, and I think this is what I bring to the forum, unless it is not appreciated, because there are not so many forums where you're going to find a permanent secretary everywhere conversating the way I conversate with you people.
Okay.
Most people go quiet because at times they think that having a conversation and bring information doesn't help in any manner. Now, if you doubt someone at the level where I was and the information I'm giving, to say, no, wait a minute, you might have information, but this information you have might not be correct. This is the correct. So that I'm not trying to change your perspective, but I'm just trying to bring the clarity of information. So that when you speak about it, you don't look, because other people who know will look at us like, but why can't they even be told that this is what happened? That grant
that aside, we'll visit that one there.
Let me just finish with you, so that maybe if you that aside, let me do it for the purposes of people listening. So
I'll come and I'll give you some evidence on that one as well.
No, but
if you want me to go deep in that one.
Yeah, but you have to let. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, but you posed the question, and I told you that's a good question.
Anyway.
You posed the question, and I told you it's a good question. Yeah. You said, is there anything on the key achievement? Therefore, But
why can't you just wait until the person finishes? You are the one who's saying, go ahead and finish. But then you interject unnecessarily.
How many questions?
You get the conversation. And then people wanted to say, it's like I'm going to Saka, I find myself in Livingstone.
The
problem, you are the one who wants to interject as the moderator. The moderator must listen first. Then you pose the question.
Okay. All right.
That's the question. The person who kills the conversation.
Okay, man. Go ahead.
It's quite a challenge now. Maybe you can come in.
Yeah. So anyway, 2021.
I think like Rufia, There's been too much going and all forth. We are above the 2-hour mark. Let's end this.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's above. Yeah. Chapwa. Tukalanda indi. But for your answer, everything is in the constitution. Come what try push up key achievements from 2021 to 2026. If you go on page 2, it's actually on page 2. You'll find everything there. It will tell you. So I'll send you the copy, and you can read it for yourself and judge for yourself.
Thank you.
Last remarks bakazia mukatupeperere ko muri bakatolika olo muri bante bakazia ona basheta anyway kalenda
no bakazia bali kwata papa leave him alone.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I know you're kidding. I'm talking about that just start to prepare BM8 and MZ. They are coming in government.
Yeah. Utali nempanga.
In Tonga, right now we have a famous saying that says, let's move on.
When BM8 comes in, mukazimina so.
Kutali nempanga kunona kashikishi.
How can you first of all, how do you have today and then you fail to fill it 72 seats, my man? Come on.
What's your manifesto? What is not explain?
Just let the people decide. Now we ichalo tabateka n'obunkalo filamule ekita ku bantu filamule umabe na gari filya n'abantu bakwemuleke filamule
tapali abalewo magari na inye
mwali pa magari
the other day you were telling me that it's been jailed.
Let me borrow your words. You are famously said on this platform, leave internal PF matters. The issue about Garry is an internal PF matter. Leave it alone.
He resigned from UPND. He's not one of you. You cannot force him on himself. He resigned.
It's an internal PF matter.
When did it become internal?
It's an internal UPN matter. Let's keep it moving.
It's not an
okay, last remark that type shafene. Ngere mairo mwachilanda tumurea mkupe panata. Mukatupepereko kashike chai chongani mwe vante. Kati?
Tulamupepela lyonse ife for your information. So there's nothing different which we're going to do.
Okay, na tribe shata. Ni mwe vante kashimu ni vakatolika.
I go to Pentecostal Baptist. That is what is.
Oh, ni mwe fala tuwa suti tuwa blacki.
Pentecostal Baptist is not Amasuti black.
No
about it, then you are going to know. But every day. That's why to land the let's be honest, chishinga chisuma. Kubepa abantu takwawanga. Ukula bepa abantu at 10 international airports in it's not possible. Ama all the economic indicators yakan. Eka twale mieva na pati
PF used to say we will never do the dual carriage way.
Economic indicators. Fertilizer is cheaper than the way it was in the year. No, fertilizer is cheaper now
than it was.
How much is fertilizer?
Fertilizer is cheaper now than it was. The price of going to sell your maize as a farmer, FRA, you're getting more money than in the PF government.
You see, you have not helped the president. The worst enemies of President H are people like yourselves. You are the worst enemies, and he wants to think that the enemies are away from.
Okay.
Instead of $2 billion.
Bakazia, before you go, I want you to go look for a book. It's called From Third World to First World. Go look for that book, read it, and you come and tell me. And you have to tell me from which country it's from. And
I can only tell you one thing, and I'm going to look for that book, but I also want you to look for the book called The Animal Farm.
I
want you to read again The Animal Farm.
I even had a distinction. I was in literature class.
The president must be helped to run the country properly, not if you
okay, man. Good night, guys. Good night, guys. Good night, guys. Let's talk next week. Bye bye. Good night. God bless you.
God